Alright, we are on Diaries of a Wimpy Kid. Oh, wait, I forgot my Bluetooth. Hold on. Let me see. I've got it here in my drawer. Okay, that's better. Can you hear me better now? Alright, so we're on page 164 of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But it looks like Mom isn't going to be any help to me after all. I knew I needed to do something quick to convince Dad that I was tough and didn't need to go into military academy. So I told him I didn't want to, I wanted to join the Boy Scouts. Dad seemed really enthusiastic about the idea, so I was relieved. Besides trying to find a way to get Dad off my back, a couple of other reasons I was wanting to go in the Boy Scouts. Number one, Boy Scouts meetings are on Sundays, so that means that I can quit soccer. Number two, it's about time I started getting some respect from the other kids at school. Okay. There are actually two Boy Scout troops in my town. Troop 24, which is right on in our neighborhood, and Troop 133, which is about 5 miles down the road. Troop 133 is always having a hot dog roast or a pool party and stuff like that. And Troop number 24 is constantly doing community service projects on the weekends, so I'm definitely more interested in 133 kind of guy. Now the trick is to make Dad make sure he doesn't find out about Troop 24 because he'll make me sign up for that for sure. In fact, tonight, oh, sorry, I've been drinking coffee, so if you wonder why it's because of my coffee that I've been drinking. I've made some coffee lemon tea. If you want to know how to make it, check out my last video. Okay. In fact, tonight we are driving all to the mall and we passed a troop in 24 cleaning up the park. Luckily, I distracted Dad for the last second. Where? Look at the bald eagle. Today was my first day at scout meeting, and luckily it was with Troop 133. I got Rolly signed up with me too. When we got to go to the lodge, we met Mr. Barnett and the scoutmaster. He asked me and Rolly to say the Pledge of Allegiance, but I do a bunch of other stuff. And we were in Mr. Barnett gave us our uniforms. Excuse me. Rolly was happy because he thought the uniform was cool. I just thought, or I was just happy to have a clean shirt for change. After we put on our uniforms we joined the rest of the troop and started working on getting our merit badges. Merit badges are these little patchy thingies you get for all sorts of stuff that you do. Me and Rolly started flipping through the merit badges to see what we should work on. Rolly wanted to do something like wilderness survival or personal fitness, but I talked him out of it. I said, excuse me, it's early. I said we should just get stuff started off, something nice for the day, so we settled in with whittling. But whittling is a lot harder than I thought it would be. It took forever, and I tried to carve a block of wood into anything, and I got Rolly a splinter about 5 minutes in. So I went to Mr. Barnett and asked him if there was something less dangerous that we could do. Mr. Barnett said that if we were having troubling with wood, maybe we should use soap instead. And that's when I had made the right call. And I signed up with Troop 133. Me, Mr. Rolly, started carving the soap, but then I found out something really great. If you get the soap wet enough, you can actually just mold it and shape it with your hands. So we put away our whittling knives and squeeze the soap into shape instead. The first creation was a sheep. I turned it in to Mr. Barnett, and he checked off my carving list. I really didn't know what to do for my next carving, so I turned the sheep upside down and handed it back in and told him it was a Titanic. And believe it or not, Mr. Barnett accepted that. 1-2. A terrible tragedy it was. So me and Mr. Rowley both got our Whittle merit badges, pinned them to our uniforms. When I came home, Dad was really impressed. If I would have known that this was all it took, maybe I make him happy. He would have signed me up for Boy Scouts about 6 months ago. The other day, Mr. Barnett announced that the Boy Scout troops was having a father-son campout this weekend, and I asked Dad if he'd go with me. I was pretty surprised at how easy it was to impress Dad with one little merit badge, so I figured the whole weekend of seeing me do macho stuff would totally blow him away. But yesterday morning, I woke up as sick as a dog, and I couldn't go, but Dad had to, because he had signed up as a driver. I stayed in bed pretty much the whole day, and I wish I hadn't gotten sick on a weekday instead. Last year, I didn't miss a day of school, and I promised myself that I wouldn't let that happen again. Congratulations to Greg Heffley for winning the Perfect Attendance Award. Nerd. Ha ha. The father-son camping trip turned out to be a disaster. The phone rang at 10 minutes last 9, and it was a calling from the emergency room. Dad got in the tent of the Woodley brothers, Darren and Marcus, which their dad couldn't come. Darren and Marcus were horsing around in the tent, and even though Dad kept telling them to go to sleep, at one point Darren threw a football and hit right at Marcus, and it hit him in the stomach. Marcus wet his pants, and I guess Darren thought it was pretty funny. Well, Marcus was totally berserk. He bit Darren, and he wouldn't go either. It took Dad a long time to pry all of the two of them apart, and he had taken Darren to the emergency room after that. So that's where we are going to stop there. So we will begin on page 174 tomorrow. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe.